Hi, I'm James Schillinglaw. I'm here in New York City, and I'm here at the Voco Franklin on the Upper East Side. I'm here with Jessica Thompson, who's the general manager, and we're here to talk about Voco and obviously this wonderful hotel, which is the first Voco ever to be, and there are now about 30 of them around the country and around the world. And you're going to find out about this relatively new brand here with a hotel that's actually been around, which I understand from the 1930s, but we're going to talk to Jessica about that on Insider Travel Report. Now, Jessica, first of all, thank you for your hospitality. It's been fun. This is a cute little boutique hotel on the Upper East Side, which I've lived in the New York area all my life, and I've never realized that this existed, even though your sign is kind of pretty obvious, but we'll talk about that. Now, tell us a little bit about the history of this hotel and when it became the first Voco.
Sure. And first of all, thank you for having me today. I'm excited to share about the brand. This hotel has been here since 1930.
Only 1930.
Only 1930s, just a few years. We like to call it the hidden gem of the Upper East Side because it's not very well known just yet, but it has been a neighborhood staple for the past while.
And how long has that sign been there? Because the sign is pretty impressive. It says out in neon the Franklin.
The marquee, I think, has been there since probably the 1930s or 1950s. We had it completely refurbished when we did the renovation, which was really important to us to maintain the charm of the hotel and the history of the hotel.
Now, you became a Voco, in 2018, right? Is that
2020.
2020, okay.
Yes. So we opened
right during COVID, great.
Right in the middle of the pandemic. It was very fun. So we opened in October of 2020. We ran independent for about a month, and then we converted to Voco in November of 2020.
Now, how has becoming Voco transformed the hotel? What have you done to it what makes for a Voco, actually?
Well, Voco, as you may know, means to invite or bring people together, and that's really the vision of this hotel and what we've tried to do, particularly within the neighborhood. We really like to make you feel you're more at home instead of in a hotel.
Well, that is. You come down. It's a very intimate living space. You come in. There's only one small registration desk. It feels sometimes, am I in the right place?
Most people walk up thinking that it's an apartment building.
It looks that way, and it is. It has one elevator that we were using earlier. I don't know if that dates from 1930s, but
I think the car is pretty old. We've obviously upgraded the mechanical for it, but that's just another part of the charm of the building and something that we really tried to maintain during the renovation.
So you did renovate all the rooms. What have you done to the room space?
Yeah, we did a full gut renovation in 2020. The one benefit of doing that during COVID was we weren't losing out on too much business. So we really took that opportunity to do the full renovation, and everything in the rooms from the flooring has been completely redone. Some of the items have been repurposed, again, really trying to balance bringing it to the modern age and the charm of the building. The chandeliers that we have in the rooms, which is one of my favorite features. We actually refinished them. Those were original.
Well, I love the whole. You have a nice chair in the room I'm staying in. It's just a really lovely. It's small, but it's compact. It's very convenient, and it really does the trick. At least for New York, a lot of New York hotels are going to be pretty small rooms.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. New York is known for the small rooms.
How many rooms total do you have?
We have 49 rooms total.
Not 50, right?
Not 50.
Okay. And it's on 9 floors, I think, right?
Yeah, 9 stories.
9 stories. Wow. And it really is kind of this building tucked in between two other large buildings, and it's a building that dates from the 1930s, and you're surrounded by sort of bigger and more modern buildings, right?
Absolutely, but it's in a great location. We're located right on the Upper East Side. You can walk to Central Park.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. We are in this. It really is only a few blocks away from Central Park. You're in shopping areas. You're just off Park Avenue or Madison. It is a pretty cool area.
It is. I love it up here. It's a nice blend of residential, but a nice proximity to things. We're just around the corner from the subway, so if you want to get to Midtown or downtown, it's very easy and accessible. But like I said, you can walk to the museums, you can walk to the park, and it really is much more of a laid-back vibe up here compared to Midtown.
Yeah, it is a little quieter, a little bit more. Midtown can be a little extreme at sometimes, and I've stayed at a lot of hotels all around the city, but Times Square. Now, what's your background in hospitality?
I have worked in hospitality all of my adult life. I started out, my very first job in a hotel was as a night auditor, And I slowly worked my way up, working in every single department, learning as much as I could. And so that's what I've been doing for the past, 16 years.
And then here you are as at really the first Voco hotel, and certainly in New York, and as you said, it's globally maybe.
Yeah, we were the first in the United States to open, so that was really exciting to be a part of a new brand and be able to launch that with IHG. It was very exciting.
Yeah, no, we did. And we did. There's another interview I did with the head of the brand, Ginger Taggart, who you're familiar with, who was talking about this Voco brand, which actually quietly emerged for me because it was done just sort of before COVID. So I don't think a lot of people know about the brand, but hopefully we can change that with things like this.
Absolutely. It seems to be growing pretty rapidly, which is even more exciting for the brand.
And what they do is, they do a mix of sort of, obviously this is an older property that they have converted, but they also have new properties as well, I understand.
Yes, absolutely. And, that's the nice part about Voco is the versatility. You have the flexibility to convert an older hotel but maintain that character. Mm-hmm. And every Voco hotel that you go to is just a little bit different and has its own character. And I think that's important. I think that's what guests are looking for now. I find a lot of people are straying away from the transactional, styled hotels and
no, and they want to be part of the local ambiance, and that's been a trend. That has been a trend where even the chain hotels have kind of gotten reflect the local environment, the local character, and this certainly does that.
Absolutely.
Now, talk a little bit more about the public areas, because we're in, you can get coffee, but so far right now there's not a lot of F&B. You were nice enough to host us for breakfast at the restaurant across the street, which was nice. But you have plans, right?
Yes, we have big plans. Very extensive part of the renovation was building a deck. So we have this wonderful outdoor space that's going to host a restaurant. Hopefully we'll be online later this year. It's going to be a great seafood concept with a raw bar and all sorts of lovely items. And
well, I'll have to come back. I understand it's going to be quite the place. So we'll have to come back and dine a little bit at the restaurant one of these days. Now, talk a little bit about your target clientele, and obviously COVID has changed a lot of that. But who are you trying to get to stay here? I know I ran into my neighbors, a couple of ladies from Florida. I've seen obviously some foreign tourists and things like that, which seem to always be in New York hotels these days, which is actually good. But what are you looking for? Who should be your guest?
Yeah, we have a nice mix here. We really tried to partnership with the neighborhood, and so what we did was create a neighborhood environment, and we offer a special discount for anyone visiting local friends or relatives up here. That was an important thing because it got us a lot of repeat business and longer stays. On top of that, we're surrounded by 3 major hospitals, so we do quite a bit of business.
That's right. Yeah, Mount Sinai is not too far.
Mount Sinai, we're within walking distance, so we have a lot of guests coming in that either have a family member getting treatment or surgery themselves. Mm-hmm. And so we really try to tailor our experience depending on the guest. And then, of course, because we're so close to the museums and all of the cultural items up here, we have a good amount of transient guests as well.
And you can go out and hang out in Central Park, too. So, maybe not for the business travel, although if you are a business traveler who wants to get away from it all and just be really literally a short subway ride. I've taken it up here. 86th Street from Grand Central is almost nothing. Yeah. It's about a 10-minute subway ride to Midtown, and then you keep going, you're down in Wall Street. But it actually could be a nice little boutique-y getaway to get away from the rush, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Now, how overall has the Voco brand helped this hotel, and where do you see the Voco brand going?
It's been extremely helpful, especially for this hotel, coming out of being an independent hotel, not a lot of brand recognition. Voco and IHG really brings that powerhouse to life. And
certainly reservations, you're in that, and you're part of the rewards programs and things like that.
Absolutely, and those are fundamental and crucial, for the success of the hotel, being able to have the power of the brand behind you, but also have a laid-back style in the hotel that guests really appreciate. It's a really nice balance.
It's great. Now, is there anything else you want to tell we go out to about 100,000 travel advisors out there, many of whom, during this COVID period can't keep track of all these brands. And you know how the major chains, some of your competitors have as many as 30 brands. I can't keep track of them all. And now Voco was a new brand, but is there anything else you want to tell them about the Voco brand and about the Franklin?
Absolutely. The Voco brand is hallmarked around hosted service. And that's very important, and that has been the number one success for us. What that means is, everybody's a host, either housekeeping or engineering or the front desk. It doesn't matter who you interact with from the hotel. Everyone just genuinely wants to help and make you feel comfortable and at home, and I think we've executed that pretty well here. We have curated the staff, handpicked to make sure that we can deliver exceptional guest service, and make sure that everyone that stays here really feels welcome and at ease.
Well, I certainly have felt very welcome from the woman who checked me in last night when I came into the hotel. Was very familiar, really, and she was it. She was the one who really, you don't need a lot of staff, and of course meeting you, and I understand that how you've kind of gotten all your staff to reflect that as well. So you've done a great job. Now, where can travel advisors go to learn more about Voco hotels and this hotel in particular?
The best bet is to go to vocohotels.com. For our hotel specifically, it's Franklin, New York, and you'll find all of the new Vocos that are coming online, the ones that are already open, and find out more information about this quaint little hotel here.
And the thing is, you can't miss this hotel because the neon sign outside, a lot of New York hotels, you're saying, where is this? And we're in a neighborhood, we're really, it's hard to find these hotels, but you can't miss this one, let me tell you.
You definitely can't.
Well, Jessica, thank you so much again for your hospitality. It's been fun to stay. I want to come back and see your new restaurant when you're ready, and hopefully we'll see you again.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure having you.
I'm James Schillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.